Hello everybody, today I'll be showing you all about how to get your road bike on track. It's a little bit of a controversial topic. It's something that is a bit marmite, so what I'll do is I'll just show you what kit that I take with me on track if I'm taking the very bare basics, and then I'll just quickly show you how to prep your bike and get it ready for the track. Stay tuned. So when I tell people that I ride on track, I kind of get a similar reaction from most people, which is, I'd love to take my bike on track, but I'm afraid of crashing. I can see their point. However, I think riding on the track is probably the best and purest form of riding a motorbike. You've got perfect track surface, everybody's going in the same direction, there's plenty of space. You've got medics on the corner. Should the worst happen, everybody's there for a good time and everybody's looking out for each other. Obviously, you don't have the added concern of traffic or things pulling out on you and stuff. So it's perfect. It's a way of getting out the need for speed out of your system, and it should bring on your road riding no end as well. And there's one. So in the UK, there's various different Trackday organisers out there that offer different things. You kind of have one end of the spectrum, which is your California Superbike School, your James Whittam Trackday training, and that offers kind of smaller groups with more intensive training. And kind of in the middle ground, you've got different Trackday organisers that offer road bike only track days or novice only track days, and then you've got the far end of the spectrum where it's kind of, there's your session, there's your bike, off you go. Different companies also offer free instruction, so it's worth shopping around out there to get the best thing that suits you. Quite obviously, you're going to need a helmet. This is an AGV helmet, so any standard road going helmet would do you justice up on the track. All you need to do is make sure that it's got this gold standard stamping on, but that's pretty much it for a minimum requirement. Obviously the helmet needs to be in good order. Certainly to go racing you need a lid that is less than 5 years old. But track days, there's not much of a restriction on it, but obviously it's protecting your head, you want it to do the job. So we've got a back protector here. This is about 20 quid on eBay. It's not compulsory for track days. It is for racing, but it's up to you really. They fit underneath your leathers quite nicely. You don't really notice that it's on once it is on, and I think for the sake of 20 quid it's probably well worth it. Nice sturdy leather pair of gloves. These ones are from Alpine Stars. What are they? SP Air gloves with like some plastic reinforced knuckles and stuff. Make sure they're nice and comfy and they're well ventilated. You'll be grateful for that come the end of the day. I use one-piece RST leather suit. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. Some people ride with a zip together suit. Just make sure that it's one that zips most of the way around the waist. But just to be 100% sure, just check with the Trackday organiser first. You're going to need some sturdy motorbike boots. I think the boots are going to need to cover sort of up to halfway up to your calf. So yeah, anything like what you see there will do you nicely. Lastly, just make sure that those knee sliders are nylon and not the metal kind. So the reason behind that is just so they don't spark and distract other riders. And then all you need to do before you get out on track in the paddock is just give them a good scuff round on the car park and makes you look like you know what you're doing. So if you're going to go to the track on your own bike, I'd recommend taking a backpack with you and just chucking a few essential items in. So I'll go through these now. So we've got a tyre pressure gauge. It speaks for itself. I use an analog pressure gauge. Some people prefer digital, they're a little bit more accurate, but my analog one won't run out of batteries. I don't know if you can see that. That is a little socket set. The sockets range from 13mm down to 6, and then it's got various other little bits on there, screwdriver heads, star drive sets, Allen keys, that sort of thing. And that can come in handy just to keep check of your footrests, make sure that they're not loosening up at all as the day goes on, or if you want to change the position of your bars or anything like that, then it takes up hardly any space or any weight, and goes in the bottom of your bag nicely. Driving licence. Let's not leave that at home. So you need your full UK unrestricted bike licence to get on track. Drinks bottle, an absolute minimum. If you can stretch to it, take some electrolyte tabs as well, just to keep your salts and your minerals and things up throughout the day. You're going to sweat quite a bit, particularly if it's a hot day. And then a bike pump. So track pressures and road pressures differ just ever so slightly. You're going to let a little bit of pressure out of the tyres. I'm not going to go into too much specifics on that because all the tyres are different, all the bikes are different. So go and have a chat with the tyre person at the track, and they'll be able to steer you in the right direction. And then if you do have space, what I will say is it's really nice just to have like a spare set of shorts, t-shirt, shorts and a hoodie, or trackies or something, and then just a spare pair of footwear just to change out of at lunchtime. It's really quite a long day to spend in your leathers. So this is my road bike, a 1998 Kawasaki GPZ 1100. So before I go out on track, there's a few checks that I carry out every time religiously, whether it's road bike or track bike, and I kind of just work in a methodical order from front to back. So we're going to have a look at the tyre, make sure that that's in good order, there's no cracks, there's no bulges, the tread's good, and that they're sort of reasonably new tyres, so anything from a sports tourer tyre upwards really will do you just fine when you're starting out on track. So we'll move back a little bit. We're going to be checking the brakes, check the pad thickness. Now these pads are all new in the bike last year. There's plenty of travel or plenty of meat on those pads, and we'll make sure that the bolts are secured nice and tightly, both to the caliper but also in the front wheel as well. We'll check the fork seals for any seepage of oil going up the forks there, but these all seem to be in good order. Again, this was all done last year. So what we'll do with the mirrors, we'll tuck the mirrors in, we'll tape up any glass or any lights or any indicators, anything that's going to distract any other riders on the track, but also you know, if you were to break the light, you're not then chucking glass up the track and all the rest of it. What next should we talk about? We'll talk about the bodywork. So the bodywork, will just make sure that it's all nice and secure and in place. That all seems to be good. We don't want anything falling off the bike as we're going around the track, is really the aim of the game. So that all seems to be good. But around the other side of the bike, what we'll do is we'll just check all the fluids. So most importantly, we'll check the oil, we'll check the coolant, that if your bike's been serviced sort of within the last 6 months to a year, which it should have done, then they should all be absolutely fine. Have a little visual check underneath the bike if there's any puddles or anything like that, then pay a bit of caution, get that investigated before you get out on track. And then lastly, what I would say is check the rear brake bolts are good, check that you've got plenty of meat on the pads, and have a little look at the chain and sprockets, make sure that they're in good working order, that they're lubed up nicely, and make sure that the chain is nice and tense. So I hope you found the video useful. Hopefully with the lockdown restrictions reducing and the weather getting better, this video should give you the confidence to get out on track and have a little go. See you in the next video.